Hi folks, today's easy open world build is a Condition Tempest build. Condition Tempest is one of the best, if not the best, build to run for elementalists if you want something that can be made very resilient very easily. It can provide permanent protection around it for a small damage loss, covers a lot of might on itself and provides good passive healing. It also provides Aegis to allies on demand, which is very strong too. This build is based off the DPS Tempest build I made on the Guild Wars 2 wiki, so if you want to learn more about the basics of the build or double check information, check out the written article or the complimentary video on the DPS rotation for Tempest. The links are in the description below. As usual for open world, we'll follow a particular priority list for survivability changes. Gear is expensive unless you have legendary gear, so we'll adjust food and trades first. On Tempest you should not need to adjust gear, food or utility items anyway. So let's try to make Tempest more survivable so that you can sustain on your own even when soloing harder content. The first major step to increase survivability is to use Earth instead of Arcane. We won't be swapping to Earth very frequently, but the traits of choice make the build very tanky without affecting damage too much. I run Earth in open world everywhere, even in harder metas like dragons and where damage matters. It natively decreases damage you take from nearby foes by 10% and all incoming strike damage by another 10%. Here the two key traits are Elemental Shielding and Written in Stone. Written in Stone makes your signets keep their passive effects when they are on cooldown and further grant you an aura upon activating one. Elemental Shielding applies protection every time you grant an aura to yourself or allies, so applying auras is a simple way to maintain protection, massively increasing your survivability. In order to trigger this trait on yourself and allies, we'll use the following set of utility skills: Signet of Restoration, Signet of Fire, Feel the Burn and Aftershock. Every one of these skills applies an aura either only to yourself or even on allies around you. Signet of Restoration heals you for every skill you cast, including instant casts. This leads to a quite nice amount of passive healing. You can also activate it for another heal without losing the passive. And that's not all, it will also apply a Frost Aura, reducing damage you take by 10% for 4 seconds. Signet of Fire and Feel the Burn are mostly there for the damage. They also provide fire auras to yourself and apply might in an AoE radius, which is very good. Aftershock is a great shout that synergizes very well with the kit. It grants Aegis and a magnetic aura to allies, making yourself and them reflect projectiles and block the next attack. It further applies Immobilize, and through this Immobilize applies AoE bleeding with the trait Strength of Stone. With this skill loadout and Camping Fire, you should be able to breeze through almost all content in the game. There are a few additional tweaks you can make to prepare for particular situations though. In case you need frequent Condi cleanses, Smothering Auras in Fire is worth looking at. This cleanses conditions whenever you grant an aura to an ally, and Transmuting one via Focus 5 cleanses 2 conditions in an AoE around you. This costs some damage but can make your life in some situations much easier. If you want, you can also use Elemental Bastion instead of Transcendent Tempest. This will heal the target of any aura you apply, including yourself. It also gives a Frost Aura in an area when you get hit below 75% health, giving you and allies another safety net. Finally, using Harmonious Conduit gives you stability and swiftness on using an overload. This is good to prevent enemies from interrupting your overload fire. If all of that is not enough, which it should be, you can change to minus 10% damage taken food and potions of Kaka toughness for another 16% or so damage reduction. With all of these possibilities, you should be good to go for all PvE content, so that despite playing an Elementalist, you won't be spending 90% of the time in downstate. That said, feel free to like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. I hope this video was insightful for you and made you want to try Condition Tempest. See you next time and happy spin to winning.